thought we had enough pixie dust in it, and we didn't. That was all my fault. I'm so sorry. I really thought we had enough pixie dust. But we're back. We made it.
All right.
We'll get our alligator friend out again.
All right.
He has such a pretty house.
He does. All right. Now we're back. We were talking about his singing.
We were. He's starting to sing
voice.
for us.
Well, now he's just being scary because he's trying to be scary. But when he sings that baritone, when it's a big adult, boys and girls both do it to impress each other. But the big boys have the most of that infrasound, the super low stuff. The cool thing about that is it takes so much energy. Because I don't know if you know of a boy, particularly a frog boy, that spends a whole lot of energy trying to impress you when he's got not a lot to impress with, right? Boys do that, okay? In my day, we called it fronting. So, when you get to where you use so much energy to show off that you can't fake it, it's called an honest signal, okay? It means the boys that make that sound, the girls know exactly how tough he is, exactly how big he is, and exactly how bad he is. And that's what they do. They sing that super, and a whole bunch will get together and sing back and forth to each other to establish who's who in the alligator world. Pretty cool, huh?
I wish we could all fight by singing.
That would be cool. You know what? Saint Francis of Assisi once said it's the ancient wisdom of birds that battles should be fought in song.
I love it. Next time anyone has a problem with each other, we should just sing it out.
That's right. Exactly. I saw a movie about that called, what was it? I think it was, no, it wasn't Glee. But it was another movie. What was it? I can't remember what it was called. There was a whole movie about that. Anyway. All right, so back to this guy and all his super cool tricks. See the bumps in his back?
Yes.
Every one of his bumps are a bone embedded in the skin. He's wearing
you
bone
can see
armor.
His bones?
Well, his bones are under keratin to protect the outside again. But that bump is a bone. It's a little square with a ridge on it, and they have bone in there to protect him in case he gets into a fight. And also has a lot of blood flow. So when the sun warms up the bone, he pulls that heat into his core. Alligators can handle cold better than any other crocodilians, so they can actually freeze into ice for a short time. I can't freeze into ice.
Space heater.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't make himself warm. He's just that tough. He can handle that cold.
My friend Elsa can freeze it into ice.
That's true.
I don't like
That's
ice
true.
very
Yeah.
much. I'm a warm weather princess.
He can put his nose above the water and his body below and just freeze into the ice. I don't do that very well. But yeah, Elsa's champ. All right. So he's got that. No bones on his belt. That's what they make boots and bags out of. Because yeah, I know. So, I know. Yeah, if you want, you can pet him. If the kids are wondering what it feels like luggage. Okay.
It kind of feels like if you were rubbing the tips of your fingernails.
Yeah? Kinda, huh? Just don't ever touch it. Right there! Just totally teasing you. I'm definitely teasing you.
That was not very nice.
That's really not very nice, but it was a little bit funny.
It was very funny.
All right, so the valves that he's got going on there. Remember we talked about those for a minute?
Yes.
So he's got a valve in the back of his throat. Okay, if you look down his throat, he does have a tongue, but it's stuck down, so he can't stick his tongue out and go.
It's a very pink tongue.
Yeah, but you can't see down his throat usually.
Oh, you can't.
And that's because he's closed off what's called the palatal valve. That makes it so the water doesn't fly down his throat when he's swimming underwater. He doesn't breathe it in, he doesn't swallow it, and he can bite things underwater without getting water in his throat. Okay? He has valves in his ears.
So lucky, your stomach would fill up with just water.
Exactly. See the little slits behind his eyes?
Yes.
Those are his ears. They're shaped like that, so he can close them off. He doesn't get water in his ears.
Oh, I wish I didn't get water in my ears.
Right? Sometimes you just get stuck in there. Yeah. He never gets swimmer's ear. He has valves in his nose. Okay? The reason for that is because he has a very long nose and very stubby little arms. It'd be like T-Rex trying to plug his nose. He can't reach up there. Okay? Although, you know what? I don't plug my nose this way anymore either. I outgrew it. Yeah, in fact, I invented a whole new way to plug my nose. I call it the pick and plug. I plug my nose this way. Yeah, it does 3 things. It plugs my nose. Wouldn't be any good if it didn't plug my nose. Number 2, when I pull my fingers back out, it cleans out my nose. Now, you've got to keep your nasal cavities evacuated in case you're talking to someone shorter than you, because they're probably looking right up both barrels. Is that true?
And they can see everything.
Exactly, okay? And don't let your parents tell you they don't clean out their nose, because they do. They do it when they're parked in their car at a stoplight, and they don't think anybody's looking in the window, okay? And number 3, have a snack for later, which is also useful.
Oh.
Speaking of snacks.
You had me till number 3.
Speaking of snacks, he has the strongest stomach acid of any creature on the planet. Okay, alligators and crocodiles, all the crocodilians.
That must be how he eats swans.
Yeah, he can digest all the bits of the swan, okay? All the bits of the swan.
Even
So
though
there's
we think we're
nothing.
pretty tough.
Yeah, there's nothing left over. Not even no, all the DNA evidence is gone, which is really important now that I have a pretty daughter. Okay. Now, in case when she starts dating. All right. Next is to help with that, because he can only stab. He only has stabby teeth. He doesn't have any chewing teeth. Okay. So he can't chew his food. He doesn't want to open his mouth for me anymore. Here, open, 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 open. There we go. Can you see all stabby teeth?
Yes.
Here, can you guys? I know. Here, I'll come up close to the camera because our
magic mirror ran out of pixie dust.
see our magic mirror. Yeah. Okay. Let's have a look. Can you guys see that? Okay. Can you see those stabby teeth? So those teeth cannot chew food. He can only bite. He grabs food and toes it underwater. He could crush it to death, but if it's a little bit bigger, it's easier for him to just hold it underwater because he can hold his breath longer than anything he eats. Okay? And then he has to swallow it whole. So he'll bite down and grab chunks, roll over and rip the chunks off and swallow the chunks. He can't chew his food. But he has another way to chew his food. He swallows rocks. Now, don't you swallow rocks. We're not made to do it, but birds do it.
My friend Milana has a rooster that's always eating rocks.
There you go, exactly. A lot of birds, not all birds, have something called a gizzard that puts rocks in it, and their rocks grind up the food. Well, he just does it in his stomach, and they're called gastroliths, and he swallows these rocks, and the rocks grind together to chew up his food inside of his tummy. And that's how he chews up his food inside there.
That's amazing. He's got his own rock collection that he takes with him everywhere.
That's right, yeah. Okay, I wonder, and I guess it actually also acts as ballast, but these guys are super smart, the smartest of all the reptilians. In fact, these guys are all reptiles. Some crocodiles, I don't know if they've seen it in alligators, but some crocodiles during bird mating season, like when swans are trying to find other swans, okay? All right, to go watch Netflix and chill, they'll go underneath and they'll under the water and they'll pick up sticks on their head, the kinds of sticks birds want to make nests out of. And then they come up and lift them up onto the surface and just float there holding the sticks that the birds want to use when building their houses. And that way when a bird comes down and says, look, that is the perfect accent to my house. I'm going to go get it. And they, bam, grabs the bird. Oh, no,
that's so tricky.
It's pretty tricky. They're super smart. Okay? Well, for reptiles, they're smart. They're not as smart as a people, but they're pretty smart. Huh?
Or a swan.
Or a swan. Okay? Or a swan. But still, yes, birds are super smart. But these guys are spectacular animals. I love crocodilians. They are awesome, awesome animals.
You'll have to settle an argument between Speed and JeanBob.
Okay.
Which would an alligator rather eat? A tortoise or a frog?
If they're not picky, they go either way. If it was a crocodile, I would say it would lean toward the frog. Alligators, one of the reasons their nose is so broad is pound for pound they have a really powerful bite. Now, a bigger crocodile has a stronger bite because it's just plain bigger. But pound for pound, an alligator has the stronger bite, and that's because it crushes turtle shells. So he loves turtles, but he wouldn't turn down a frog in a second. They're easier to eat. But so it's the same for him. But a crocodile would eat both, but a crocodile would probably prefer the frog. And if it was a gharial, which is a type of crocodile, another crocodilian, with a super skinny, skinny, skinny nose. It likes fish the most, but if it had to choose between a turtle and a frog all the way. Its nose is too skinny to take a turtle.
Then Speed wins. JeanBob is always the best bait when we have to set a trap.
That's perfect. Yep, absolutely perfect. Okay? All right. Well, that's what I've got for this guy. Do you have any other questions for me?
Do we have any other questions?
I'd be happy to answer questions.
Well, while we're meeting, since he likes to sing, do you like to sing?
I'm a tenor. 10 or 12 notes off.
Okay, that sounds just fine.
Okay.
We can learn a song. I love to sing with my animal friends.
Fantastic. I love to sing.
Even the crocodiles join in.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
So it's about friends.
Okay.
And we have some sign language to go with it.
I have an alligator. Can I not sing because I have an alligator?
Yes.
Okay.
I think he's more important. So we're going to start here.
Okay.
And then here. And this one. And then here. And it's called That's What You Do for a Friend. I probably should show my hands if I'm going to do sign language.
Oh, okay.
That would be helpful.
All right.
That would be like trying to talk while covering your mouth. Let's try it again one more time. Here. 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 Can we give it a try? We sing, that's what you do for a friend. Oh, that's what you do for a friend. That's what you do for a friend, my friend. That's what you do for a friend.
Oh, that was lovely. I wish I could hit notes. I mean, I hit some. It's usually the note you want it. I hit the one you want on the way to the other wrong note is what I do, yeah.
It's a sliding scale.
It's a sliding scale, yeah. I heard, you know what? I am in a singing duet. I do a duet, yeah. And the other person I sing with, you may know, because we have a mutual friend. Do you know Ariel?
I do.
Yeah, she has this really cool guy. He's a seagull.
Scuttle.
Yes, Scuttle. He and I, man, we are singing buddies.
Oh, I'm glad he has someone to sing with because Sebastian says he's not allowed to sing anymore.
Oh, Sebastian's a fuddy-duddy.
Oh, yes. But deep down inside, he's just an old soft shell.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
We can't wait. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you so much to Scales and Tails for sending a wonderful night and some friends all the way from Swan Lake for us. Thank you so much, everyone. Goodbye. Mwah. Does crocodile blow kisses?
He hasn't reached his mouth. I mean, he reached the side of it, I guess. But that's what happens when you're an alligator and you try to reach your mouth.
Oh, that's all right. I'll blow an extra one for him, too.
Perfect.
Mwah.